listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Mark and Ken.
What's up?
On episode 226 of the podcast.
Without getting cancelled.
We hope. We hope it's 226 and we hope we aren't cancelled. Which is more than we can say about other podcasts. But let's not get into that, because we've got a whole load of shit we have to get through before that. Any crack with you, Ken?
Not a thing.
That's good. Have you celebrated our recent found freedom since we've come back out of like zero restrictions almost?
No, because I didn't really do anything different. The only thing different I did was stop jiu-jitsu. That's about it.
I think that's more like work related as well now at this stage. So,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if it's just that I'm getting 30. It's not I'm getting 30. I am 30. It's not like a disease, but like if I'm getting just a wee bit older, but like, or it's the fact that maybe it's just like a little bit more hectic in work. It's just like I'm in bits. I like trained hard Monday, and after like a 12-hour day, and then I was up for another 12-hour or 10-hour day the next day, and I went to training today, and I'm like an old man today. I'm like, everything hurts.
Oh, welcome to your 30s.
Yeah, everything hurts. My spine hurts. My neck hurts. My feelings hurt. Everything hurts.
Yeah, see, all you youngins used to laugh at me.
So it's the first time where I noticed her. I was like, oh, actually,
you all used to be like, oh, old man Ken, you're only 30. Yeah. Wait for it.
Yeah, so I think I'm half thinking of like a nice massage, something to rub me down.
I'm half thinking of retirement.
What?
I'm thinking of retirement.
Yeah, or something like that. I think it might be needed. Yeah, no, my kind of life didn't really change too much. Like even when they was bar servers or no table servers, I actually prefer that. I was like, this is a much better experience in the bar. Everybody's quiet. I can talk to my friends, and people bring me alcohol. This is an improvement. So
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, this is the whole idea of having to get up to a bar and dodge 50 people wandering around in between you while you're getting beers poured on you. I was like, we have to go back to this.
Like I watched on RTE, they had a bunch of fucking nobodies that they were calling celebrities on, talking about the great reopening and all this shit. And they were all saying, one of them was like, it was such a joy seeing the barmen put the stools back at the bar again. No, it's not. It's not a fucking joy seeing a barman put the stools back at the bar. I haven't seen you have to dodge the outlet to get a pint.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst, yeah. And like, usually there's like dead zones on bars. Like, if you stand in a dead zone, you won't be served no matter how long you're there, because they only work certain ends of the bar. And it's like, it's always where the fucking old men are sitting, is where they're taking orders. And like, if you stand like a few feet left of the men, you're not going to get served. You're like, no, hello, over here. And like, they're fucking some girl, fucking her cleavage comes up and gets skipped. Like, oh, well, this is a joke. Well, I don't blame them, but like, this is a joke. But yeah, exactly. It can be fucking really, really hard to get served at a pint. And I was like, I'm not really fond of this. I wonder if one bar kept like table servers, would it be more popular or less popular? Because a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people are like me, are like, oh, table servers is actually pretty good. I know there's few are like that, but probably like ones that don't go out a whole lot.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, because like I did feel it was easier to have conversations with your friends. Sometimes you're in a busy bar, people are standing around with pints. People are like sitting with pints. People are trying to take your spot. Is another thing I will not miss about the great reopening.
Like, you've, as well with table service, you've got, okay, so you kind of guarantee that you're going to get served because somebody's going to have to come over and be like, "Do you want another drink?"
Yeah, they have. Well, they have to at least take the glasses off your table.
Yeah, but the problem that you could get as well is, at least when you have to go to the bar, if you're like a kind of a fast drinker and everybody else that you're with is a bit slower.
Yeah, you're kind of like, oh, I have to wait till all these before I'm served.
Wait till these fucking gimps finish their fucking drinks.
Just what you just do is, can I just have the bottle and I'll pour it myself? Because like these fucking guys,
these guys,
these guys, and you're like, bring me another bottle. And they're like, you can't. You had one bottle already.
I promise I'll count how many I'm having.
Yeah, exactly. I can drive. Talking about I can drive. We can talk about what stories we have. That's an awful segue. So
nothing to do with driving.
Yeah, we're going to be doing the first for the podcast coming up on the show. I mean, you are going to take an IQ test.
Yeah, right. I've done it already.
Yeah, you've done it already and failed. So
failed miserably.
So, like, realistically, this is me going to be doing this IQ test, and Ken's going to give me an IQ test. So, like, that's how this is going to go. But
I'm hoping it makes me feel better.
Yeah, so like at least, like, we know Ken failed, but we don't know how bad Ken failed.
Oh, I got one question right.
Oh, he got okay. Now we have a barometer of what we start, and then ironically, after our IQ test, we'll be doing our ideas a week, and we have a man who was a mistaken identity, and he was locked up in prison for 6 days because of this mistaken identity. He's now suing the police and the state where he was arrested in for 500,000. Which, well, we were talking once we get into the story, it's not like it's a reasonable amount for being wrongfully convicted.
Yeah, I think it's a low amount.
Yeah, I think it's always better to like not to look too greedy. I know. This is kind of over here. This was a few years ago as well. So like inflation in terms of all of that. But a person I know was wrongfully held in a McDonald's because they mistaken him for a person who broke a pane of glass the prior week. So when he came in, they held him. They wouldn't let him leave until the police was called, and basically they're like, "Oh, this is the fucker that broke a pane of glass." Turns out it wasn't him, and he got like 20,000.
Yeah, like when something like that, a wrongful detention happens in like a setting like that, the company automatically puts together 30 grand.
Yeah.
To see if the person will take 30 grand and not like sue them and just fuck off.
Yeah, so they're like, we'll elbow him at start 20 grand, and he was like, done. I think, like I said, this was a good few years ago as well. And it was just kind of like, I think it was more over defamation of character that he got them for. Then we have, so we have a man who had, I don't know, like if I tell about this story, will I just say it was on a cold day and something happened to him?
It wasn't even a cold day; it was a dare. So he took a dare in school.
Oh, so he took a dare in school and something happened to him, and we'll leave it there. And then this was actually a news story on This Week in like Ireland. Was a man tried to claim some guy's pension, was it? Yeah,
he tried to claim his uncle's pension.
And while the uncle was dead. So we'll be talking, Ken will go into details. If you're from Ireland, you've probably heard about this story. And if you're not from Ireland, yeah, he basically wheeled a dead body into a post office and tried to withdraw a pension. We'll also be talking about Partygate. This is a story from the UK. And this is what a mad 2 years that we've had. Boris Johnson, while under like lockdown, and telling people pretty much at Christmas you can't see your families unless you live in the same household as them. So don't go see your grandparents. There's people who spend alone because they thought their parents were vulnerable. So he spent Christmas in their apartment, and didn't go see them. Meanwhile, Boris Johnson's having, I think there's 15 allegations at this stage of different parties. Like, I never knew like a politicians had this much of a social life. I would become a politician myself if I was going to be guaranteed to be invited to this many parties. Get invited to fuck all. So we're talking about that as well on our Idiots a Week. And then we'll have a topic piece. And anyone that's in a relationship probably have come across this. And I think there's two types of people. It's mainly men that get caught doing this, and women that either, it's grand, or, oh no, that's like virtually cheating on me. And it's a wife caught her husband watching some inappropriate videos and put this up on TikTok. Now, I think the wife at the time, she was kind of just like, oh, how dare you? But it's like, kind of like a joking way. I don't think she was too upset, because in the next video, she has like a kind of a toy gun, and she shoots him with it. That shoots like foam bullets. So like, I think she was just like, haha, this is a joke. But then people on comments were like, that's hilarious, or dump him. He's cheated. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Kind of talk it out of him. So like, it sparked a huge debate on, I guess, TikTok. So like, maybe it was like an algorithm, like trying to like fuel tensions.
Fuel tensions.
I don't know what the algorithms wanted to do, but they're always causing shit.
The tension fueling algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that in our topic piece, if we have enough time, because like, I think we're already good 15 minutes into the show. We're 11 minutes into the show. So like, we've already don't have a lot of time, and I think there's like 7 or 8 stories to get through.
Yeah, so we'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll do our best, and whatever we don't get through, we'll cover in next week's show. Should we?
Which we probably won't.
Yeah, we probably won't. We'll probably get we'll be lucky to get onto Johnson Gate or Partygate or whatever it's called. I do love the whole kind of how they gave them these like catchy names. Like one of the like allegations that's against them is like bring your own booze party is one of the allegations. Then there's Cheen and Wine Gate is another one. This is like, unless you know what they're talking about, it's kind of like you wouldn't know. You'd like, what is Cheen and Wise Gate? Why is Cheen and cheese and wine a big issue in the UK? Oh, we also have Biden called a Fox News person on our Idiots Week. Something very naughty.
Yeah, naughty Joe.
Yeah, Joe Biden. Naughty Joe. So we'll get on to our IQ test first, which I'm quite nervous about.
It's only 3 questions.
Oh, God. All right. Okay.
And like, I only got 1 right, so no pressure.
Okay, and people can play along at home.
Yeah, you can play along at home, see what happens.
Yeah, screenshot your answers and send them to us.
So like, only 17% of people, they gave this test to 1,000 people, and only 17% got it right.
All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so don't feel too bad, right? So the first question is, if a bat and a ball cost $1.10.
Oh, Matt. Jesus Christ,
right?
Ken.
Right,
so what's that again? So a bat and a ball.
Bat and a ball cost $1.10.
Yeah.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
The bat costs $1 more.
Yeah.
So then wouldn't it be? Oh, is it kind of a trick question? So this is not $2.10.
No, it's not a trick question. So together, a bat and a ball together.
Yeah.
Cost $1.10.
Yeah.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball.
All right, so it's like 10 cents.
No.
No?
That's the first one. No, I'll give the answers at the end so that
Okay.
people can play along at home, right?
Fair
So,
enough.
no, but 10 cent is the most common answer.
All right.
If it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets, how long does it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets?
So what's the question again?
It takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets.
Yeah.
So how long does it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets?
Well, it would be 100 minutes then, wouldn't it not?
That's what I said too. No, wrong.
Damn.
And then the last question is, in a lake, there's a patch of lily pads.
Yeah.
Every day, the patch doubles in size. If it takes 48 days for the patch to cover the entire lake, how long does it take for the patch to cover half the lake?
So half of 48 is 24.
Wrong.
What?
That's the one question I got right.
Oh, so all right. So let's have the answers then. So
Right,
first one was
so-
Bodum costs $1.10.
Yeah, so if a bat and a ball cost 110
Yeah.
and the bat costs $1 more than the ball costs 5 cents.
All right. So
So the ball is 5 cents and the bat is $1.05.
yeah. All right. Well, how are you meant to get that though?
How do you get it? So you work it out by, so the ball costs X. So X plus 1 equals, the ball costs X, then the bat costs $1 more. So the bat costs X plus 1. So the ball and the bat is X plus 1
Yeah.
equals 110. And then that means 2X plus 1 equals 110. So 2X equals 10 cents. So X equals 5 cents.
All right. I have no way how you've done that. So, okay. I'm still just as lost as I was before. But I'll take it that you're right.
All right. Then the next one, if it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets,
Yeah.
how long does it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets? It's still 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, because they would have because the time takes the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Ew.
the last one, in a lake.
Clever.
In a lake with a patch of lily pads, and every day the patch doubles in size. Takes 48 days for the patch to cover the entire lake. It takes 47 days for it to cover half the lake.
How do you mean? How does this work now?
So it doubles in size every day. So
Oh
it-
yeah.
yeah. So 48 days and then go backwards. So it takes 47 days for it to cover half the lake.
That's a listening question. That's where you have to listen. You have to really understand the question that happens.
Yeah, so let us know how you get on with that at home.
Yeah, let us know. Ken got one right. I got none right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got the
what's
last
the most common percentage? Is it like, do people get 2 out of 3? Do most people get 1 out of 3, or are most people like idiots like me who get 0 out of 3?
It just says 17% get all 3 right, and then
All right.
83% get between 1 and 2 right.
Shit.
But the most common incorrect answers are 10 cents, 100 minutes, and 24 days. So you had the most common wrong answers.
Yeah, so like, I'll take that. I'll take that. Like, I'm on kind of power with the idiots. Like, I'm not, at least I'm trying to like almost make a logical guess at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give you that.
We'll give you that. So now we'll move on to our idiots of the week. This is part of the show created for idiots and clearly by idiots. And it's where basically we talk about dumb things, and it takes up nearly all of our show today. Again,
Surprise!
surprise! Is a huge is a huge amount of idiots to get through. Some weeks it can be kind of scarce. This week, and I think last week we had a good few as well. There seems to be a lot of idiots out there.
There's a lot of idiots out there this week.
I was just trying to find a police station where who we're calling idiots, just so we get the right people we're calling idiots. And because this is about, I think it happened, let's say Los Angeles area. Let's just cover the whole entire state. It happened around there, and it was where a black man was arrested on a charge of mistaken identity. Now, your man who was arrested by was white and was like twice his age. So it's kind of weird. His name was Shane Lee Brown. This happened in about January 2020. And yeah, he's about twice his age. And usually when there's a warrant put out for some guy's arrest, I don't know how these things go, but I would always thought it's the person's name, a general description of what they look like, and their age would be kind of, but at least their age and their general description. So I think Shane was arrested or was pulled over and had an out-of-date license, and it was why he was originally kind of pulled over by the police, or came to the police's attention. When he gave his name, the police took mistaken it for a Shane Neil Brown instead of Shane Lee Brown. So on his license, it could have been Shane Brown. So when they typed in Shane Brown, obviously it came up as, oh, this person has a warrant for arrest, arrested him. But like, the warrant for the arrest, after he got to the stations, they didn't do any other investigation other than getting Shane Brown and go, oh, we have Shane Brown. And the description of the person that they were looking for was an elder brown-haired man, or I'm trying to get because I have a description of the guy who was arrested, and then it goes into the description. I should have really put these on basically on two different grounds. So it was like, he's described as white man with brown hair, blue eyes, and a beard. So basically Ken. And then Lee's described as a black man with crossed hair and brown eyes and no beard. So like just two pictures side by side would have clearly shown the difference. Also the ages. So even if they didn't have a description of the man, the age, like Shane Brown, age X, would have cleared him, because even on his out-of-date license, he would have been like, oh, well, here's his date of birth. If this is his license, this can't be the man.
It seems like a bit of a weird situation. Like,
yeah.
Surely they would have, well, I don't know, maybe he didn't have an actual, they weren't looking for him. It was just like an active warrant. So when they put in his
details, that's what it was. There was an active warrant out for. So when they put in his name, it flagged up. And I remember I was going to Portugal, and this happens to one of the guys who was going with me at the time, all the time, because he has the same name of a guy that Interpol is looking for. So anytime he goes to an airport security, they type in his name and it's flagged up, and so he has to explain to every single time that, no, this is not me, blah blah blah. This happens all the time, but he never gets arrested. He always like maybe they spend more time doing more tour searching in airports than they do maybe police at the side of a road.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say somebody who Interpol are looking for is traveling on his real name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I think it takes a half an hour every time he goes through an hour. He always goes early because he knows this can take a really long time. This can be anywhere from like a 20-minute conversation with people, a border check, to I'm bringing you into a room and I'm calling the police, and the police are going to have a word with you over this. But like every time, like he isn't arrested. So yeah, so basically, without any description or even really being told why he was being arrested for, the charges against him weren't explained to him. But he's detained for 6 days while they were getting questions to his lawyer, like until his basically lawyer said to a judge, "Can we just have a shot that shows the latest description of Neil Brown and Lee Brown side by side?" Because obviously, I don't use my middle name, so like if this happened, there was a Mark Kearns that committed a crime, pretty much all my documents it says Mark Kearns. I think on my passport it might say Mark Paul Kearns. So like, but I'm not really known as Mark Paul Kearns. Like the P. The P is
right now.
Yeah, the P.
You're Mark P. Kearns now.
Yeah, like so, like I kind of feel like the article made look at it. This is like obviously the cops didn't do their due diligence. Like one's Neil and one's Lee. They're not really different, but people don't use their middle names. For things like in nearly any document. So like I kind of feel is it easy? Like if Shane Brown flashes up, that's what probably flashed up for the police, and they're like, "Oh, we have him." Yeah, so like basically, once the mugshots were compared, he was released, and I think now a spokesperson for him has said that he's suing Las Vegas and Henderson Police Station for $500,000, claiming the officer failed to do proper due diligence with their wrongful arrest.
Like 500,000 is not that much.
Yeah, like for the 6 days that he was there, until it was court ordered, they didn't compare his photo to the photo that they had on file. They would have had on file of the guy they were looking for, and they didn't even look at the age. And even if they didn't have a photo of him, even if they couldn't get their hands on the suspect's photo, surely they have details of what he looks like or of his age, and would like it seems like 6 days is a long time to be wrongfully convicted of something.
Yeah, they might have thought, this guy is not a black guy.
Yeah, exactly. The guy we were looking for is actually white. Yeah, so a spokesperson for the police now had said that the younger Brown was correctly arrested for driving with a suspended license, and stated that he had not presented all the facts around the circumstances behind his lawful and proper arrest in the lawsuit. But the spokesperson did not comment on the case mistaken identity, so they only commented on basically the lawsuit, saying like he was arrested correctly for what he was. But having an out-of-date license, I'm pretty sure it isn't an arrestable offence over here. I don't know what it is in the US.
It's
no, you basically get your car taken off you, or you have 10 days to produce your license.
The 10 days is gone.
Yeah. Well, like
you're supposed to, if you're driving a car, you're supposed to have your license on you.
Yeah, well, no, you have your license on you, but his was out of date, wasn't that? It wasn't on him.
Well, out of date, then technically you don't have a license.
Yeah, technically, but I know people who've been pulled over by the guards here, and then like you wouldn't end yourself up in jail now. I don't think the worst that could happen to you would be left on the side of the road, and the car would be taken in until the person presents with a license. So, like a 6 days for like an out of date license is a bit harsh. Like, anyway, so I don't understand. Maybe it's different in the US. Maybe that is proper procedure. But it was later revealed that Neil Brown, the white guy, the beard, the one that looks like you, was arrested in San Bernardino. San Bernardino in California. And but it was unclear whether he was.
You'd be able to see that if you completed your 30 and 30 and watched Sons of Anarchy.
All right. Why is that? Is that okay? So basically, was that in the show? Was it?
Yeah, it's placed in the show.
San Bernardino, and yeah, basically, but it's unclear whether he was actually in custody at the same time as the younger Brown. So it's like it could be the fact that they already had the guy, so that would then be like, why did you arrest this guy? Why was the warrant still out for a guy?
Yeah, why is this guy arrested? We have him. We have him. Why are we arresting two of them?
Yeah, exactly. Now he had a long line of like different convictions as well. So like. I still think they're kind of idiots. Didn't do their due diligence here. That's why they made it onto our idiots of the week. Your man probably has a pretty good case against him.
Yeah, like I'd say he gets something out of it.
Yeah. So you've a little bit more of a bizarre story. This is over a bet. I presume these people were in school. I presume that these were in either secondary school or high school. They're the same thing. That this happened to. I don't think this would be an adult in a workplace. But it was over a bet.
How did you guess?
What ages were they?
15.
Yeah, it's around that age, 12 to 15. 12 to 18, let's be honest with you. 21 maybe.
25.
I think 25 you're a bit long in the tooth now to be.
I don't know. I think like it is boys.
Yeah, they grow up a lot faster, slower.
Yeah. Yeah. So this 15-year-old kid was dared by his friends in the changing room. I'm assuming they were doing PE or something in the changing room of the school. He was dared to take 2 full cans of Lynx and spray them on his nipples.
It seems like a reasonable challenge.
Yeah, like so he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he done it, and he said, so at first it's just really, really cold. It's not really that big of a deal, and then it starts to burn, and you just wait for it to finish. But it's fine. Like it's just really, really cold and whatever. And then the boy that dared him to do it, when he had this done, he flicked his nipples, and the 2 of them fell off.
I'm actually holding my nipples while looking out my window. Hopefully nobody's looking up at me. Man. It's a weird guy holding his nipples in his room.
So your man says that it was just like when a wart falls off. He's like, it was just. It just popped off.
Oh, so did he feel anything? Did it was like, I really need to go to the hospital now. I'll pick these back up.
No, he didn't say. He just said like it was just really, really like cold, and then
his nipples
fell off.
But I imagine like he was in excruciating pain.
So that's what I thought, but apparently not, right? Because this happened in Liverpool. So he just went to his next class as if nothing happened. So he said he's sitting up.
I was in PE and my little nipples fell off.
What was that?
That was my Liverpool accent. I thought I'd be able to do it. I was trying to like, because remember I can do a Liverpool accent.
Do it again.
I was in PE and my nipples popped off. I have to like get into the whole psyche. It's like she's experienced, ref. So I was like, I was in PE and my nipples fell off. It's probably really bad.
That's fucking terrible.
I apologize, people who are gifted with the sight of hearing. I used to be able to do a Liverpool accent because that's a traumatic experience. Next of all, I won't be able to do my Northern Irish accent.
Oh no, we won't even try that.
No, we won't. That's bad.
So anyway,
guy from Liverpool.
He went to the next.
And he went to his class like nothing happened. Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, did he put them in ice? He's like,
no, he just said that he was sitting up in German class and
blood started
he just
coming out.
Sitting there, and somebody said to him, like, your shirt, like, there's blood all over your shirt. And he's like, oh. And a German teacher was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, you need to go see the nurse. And he was like, nah, I'm all right. I'm good.
I'm all right. You're covered in blood and have no nipples. I think ring an ambulance. No, imagine a nurse. She's like, I am not trained for this. I am trained for cut knees, not zero nipples.
And the best part ever is says he has no regrets and he would do it again if he could go back.
Oh my god! Do you ever have it ever happened to you where like you're in school and a nurse is like, I am not trained for this. They come across a situation is like, this is way past my pay grade for this.
Did you have a school nurse?
I don't think it was a school nurse, but there's in every school there's a first aid. There's a person who's trained in first aid. They're not really a nurse, but they're trained in first aid. It's usually the secretary or maybe one of the teachers. They sat a few first aid courses. I remember this kid, like, he fell and hit the side of a railing, and his skull was cracked open. Like, you could see a clear hole in his skull. And
we had nothing like that.
Well, I'm sure there was. Just like, there was definitely a person there to like wipe your knees if they got bloody, but like she was not capable of dealing with a head wound the size of there's actually a hole. I was like, what? I'd be like, what the fuck am I meant to do here? Can we just call?
I got a big gash both in primary school and secondary school. And in primary school, I got swung into a wall by a bully.
Yeah,
and like I bursted my fucking head open, and nobody knew what to do. The teacher was just like, "Okay, time to call your mammy." And in secondary school, I got fucking cracked with a door, and it burst my head open. And they were like, just hold this tissue to it, and we'll just call your mother."
Yeah, when I was younger, I was a little bit quieter and a little bit more shy, and I fell and I scraped my whole hands and my knees and all. I was bleeding everywhere. Didn't tell anybody for the entire break. And I think one of the teachers spotted that my hands were just covered in blood. And she's like, Mark, what happened to your fucking hands? I was like, oh, I fell. She's like, she sent me off to the person to like get everything wiped down. This was in secondary school. This was like, no, not secondary. This was in primary school. This was like kindergarten, I should say, for anyone that's not
elementary school.
Elementary school, sorry. Yeah, and she was like, you should really tell people when these things happen. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I was kind of the same. I used to like asking people to go to the toilet. Like when I went to,
I would be exactly.
Yeah, like when I started in play school, like my ma had to talk to the teacher, and she was like just so you know, when he needs to go to the toilet, he like holds his willy.
He still does.
Like, yes, just like keep an eye out for that. It's just because he doesn't like strangers.
Yeah, I remember, actually, I say I was in primary school. When I was in secondary school, something similar happened. It was like my nose started to bleed, and like it wasn't that bad. I didn't want like, oh, I have to go so I thought I could like contain it without causing a scene. And then so like I think my sister was in the exact same class, like just mortified, like, why are you in this fucking class? And like blood come everywhere in my nose. They're like, would you ever just go to the bathroom? I was like, yeah, okay. And it's all in my nose. So like it did persist for a few years on after. I was like, I just contained the situation. No one needs to know that my nose is bleeding and there's blood coming out everywhere. So I can basically what we're saying is we completely understand with the bleeding nipple guy.
Yeah, completely understand.
Yeah, it's like, but like, did you ever do anything like that when you were in school? Any stupid pranks?
Now this didn't happen in school, but me and my friend were messing with a can of Lynx and set one of the walls in his house on fire.
Oh Jesus! You have to call the fire brigade.
No, like you didn't have to call the fire brigade or anything, but like there was I don't think his parents ever even found out. It was just kind of like a whoops.
Yeah,
moment.
I remember this guy had braces, and someone dared him to put a battery, square batteries on against his braces, and it was not pleasant by the looks of it. And then people used to spray Lynx or deodorant onto their school jumper and then light it on fire as well. And then one guy nearly burnt his eyes.
For all those Americans, it's Axe body spray.
Axe body spray. Dio, I think they call that slang. But yeah, like we also used to throw chairs at each other as well.
Yeah, we used to fire fireworks at each other.
Yeah, repeater belts.
Not even repeaters. Like there used to be rockets flying down the halls at Halloween.
Yeah, so like I'm not. Well,
there's probably something that teachers were like, "I'm not trying to deal with this."
Yeah, I say so many teachers. I was like, I am not cut out for this. So yeah, that was one of our idiots of the weeks. Moving on to a story that was all over the news there this week. It happened, I think, Monday, Tuesday. It kind of broke as a story, so it would have happened maybe over the weekend. It was about.
I think it was last Thursday.
A man who wheeled his dead uncle into a post office in order to claim his pension. Ken has the details.
I have the deets. So basically, this guy, I'm not going to name him because he's got a court case coming up, so I won't name him.
Yeah.
But he decided, him and his friend, was it his friend or his brother, I don't know, they decided to bring the old uncle up to collect his pension. But the uncle was dead. So this lad has given an interview to the paper and stuff now, and he said, like, I didn't know he was dead. But when I first heard, he didn't know he was dead, I was assuming, like maybe, he was in a wheelchair, he was wheeling him down the road or whatever, and the uncle was a bit doddery anyway, and he didn't really cop what was going on. But no, him and his friend linked his uncle in their arms and dragged him down the fucking road to go to the post office. And
I thought he had him in a wheelchair. I was like,
no. No, they had him one under each arm, dragging him down the road. And your man basically says, I'm not an Egypt, and people in the town are saying that I'm a murderer and that I was trying to steal money and stuff, and they're only saying that because I'm a heroin addict and I stole money from my aunt before. But I'm not doing it this time.
It's a bit of an odd story. So he's come to his defense saying that, like, because I'm a heroin addict, people think I murdered him and brought him down, but I'm not that bad. Basically, and I was just trying to steal from basically the state.
No, he's saying he wasn't trying to steal at all. He says that the uncle was alive when they left the house.
Bullshit.
But it gets even better. So, like, he says he was alive while they left the house, and he must have died along the way. And when they got to the post office, and they got up to the counter to collect the pension, obviously the person working in the post office was like, this is a bit fucking weird, and they called the guards. So when they called the guards, they just slumped the old lad over the counter and they ran away.
Yeah. God.
So they knew he was dead.
I wonder how do you, once we get to checkout, your one's probably going to try to greet my uncle. It's like one of them behind him pretending his head's down and pretending to talk for him, like, God, how's it going there, Sandra? Or where they go, we'll just talk for him. And imagine this guy's clearly dead or unconscious that they're bringing in here.
And here he goes, fucking down the road with him.
Yeah, my God, it must have been very obvious that your man's feet weren't moving as well.
Yeah, I don't understand. You said that, I thought, when I first heard this, he must have been in a wheelchair or something, and I wheeled him in. But no, they dragged him in.
Imagine the sight of that. It just sounds like something out of the Young Offenders or something like that.
My other question is, if they're dragging this dead guy down the road, did nobody else notice this?
Well, I don't, like they probably had a car.
No, like your man says, it's his house. It's a 5 minute walk, so they just walked it.
So
Like
the two
they
heroin
dragged.
addict friends of him and his heroin addict friend said, "Oh, what do you have to do today? Oh, I have to get my uncle to collect his pension, and then you know what? I'm probably going to go down to the alleyway and shoot up some more gear, and then I might have a bit of lunch, and then go back to bed for the evening."
Yeah, and he says like people are only saying this because he says he's off the out heroin there for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
But people are only saying that I done this to steal money because a few years ago a bank card came through my aunt's door and I found the PIN code and went down. I went to jail for 3 years for fraud, and that's why people are saying that I tried to steal money off my dead uncle.
yeah. Well, the fact that you dropped his body and ran away is it's a good also indication that why you probably are also being accused at this stage of trying to do it all over again. So yeah, so like, what did the guards do when they caught him?
Well, like he got arrested, I think, and they're like investigating what the fuck was going on.
Like, is there any information over how the uncle died? Do they think it was over suspicious means, or do they believe that like he
That's what they're trying to figure out. They don't know if he was dead when he left the house, if he died on the way, or if these two lads killed him.
yeah, and then brought him. Like, it'd be very odd, like unless they're maybe living with him, that they came across his dead body. Because I'm pretty sure the uncle probably had nothing to do with them after trying to steal from his auntie.
Yeah. Like, it's just fucking. It's very weird.
Yeah, it seems like something out of a
It only happened in, I don't know, is it fucking Limerick?
Yeah, having it. Oh well, that's throwing stereotypes around there.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it was Limerick. It's either Limerick or Cork.
Yeah, like
It's actually Carlow.
Oh right, Jesus, sorry, Limerick.
Sorry, Limerick.
Yeah.
Well, Limerick, you have got form for this kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's be honest. You wouldn't be surprised, Limerick.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Or Cork.
Yeah, parts of Cork. Yeah, there's fucking Kips in Cork. All right, yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't be surprised with Dublin.
You kind of almost suspect it as like no one goes to visit their uncles. He would definitely done for being arrested. Oh, I was only going to visit my elderly. Bullshit! You're under arrest. Shut up! You're going to prison. In Dublin, like whatever Limerick and Cork that they might visit elderly people. Dublin, they're just tossed into a home and forgot about. And that's it. That's if you actually like your fucking grandparents or parents. So yeah. So what does it say? You're saying you're going to look it up. Oh, you're just looking up place.
Yeah, you're from Carlow.
Yeah. So yeah. Once again, sorry, Limerick. Maybe Carlow. We shouldn't be too surprised.
Now, if you see him now, he has a big fucking Limerick or Dublin head in him.
Yeah, he has a bit of a dope head on him. I can't think heroin does that to a person. They just turn
a bunch of people that live in the town that he's from kicked the fuck out of him as well over this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, that happens in local towns. You do anything like this, you will get a few fucking lashings off people.
Yeah,
it'll be definitely like
the boys get together and kick the bollocks out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially if you don't go to prison, like over it. Yeah, there's very much a few people, like, if you do anything wrong in the community and people know about it, there'll be a few lads there to thump the head off you.
Yeah, that is one thing that kind of small towns in Ireland are good at, like, is if something happens to older people, they don't like it.
Oh, well, if even something happens in the community, like if you wrong people, if you like take money off somebody, or like you like that, like your name is Mud. Good luck to getting a favor off anybody. Like, yeah, you're no longer going to be like that. Like, at the very least, people will avoid you or have nothing to do with you over. But yeah, there'll be a few lads there who'll be like, I'm going to give him a hiding.
Yeah, that lad needs a shite kicked out.
That lad needs a fucking hiding.
And it happens more than you think.
Well, yeah. Of course it does. Outside pubs, you go to a bar, and after, if there's allegations against you over anything like that, some head kick it in.
Yeah, I remember it happened where I live not too long ago.
Yeah, it happened where I live, where someone sold like drugs to some guy's brother, and his brother ended up dying from it, and your man fucking leashed him with petrol and fucking lit him on fire. It was a bit bad
Okay,
out.
you win.
It was a bit bad out, but like yeah, what are they? But like, your man after that, the dealer, people kind of knew him. Like no one had anything to do with people.
Really? People knew him? Was he the guy with the burn marks?
But people, like
Fucking Freddy
lads
Krueger?
were kind of like that. Like there was a lot of people looking to kick his head in. He was kind of avoiding pretty much all his usual customers at the time because he knew there was a few lads looking to give him a hiding over it. But yeah, these things happen, I guess. Unregulated markets.
These things happen.
Not condoning any violence out there, but like, yeah, when you have an unregulated market,
Drug dealer gets set on fire. These things happen.
I'm pretty sure the guards felt that way. You know, he's a fucking thorn in our side.
Yeah, that happens.
What do you want to? We're not the fire brigade. So will we move on to? Do we have time for Partygate?
Fucking go on, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, we've 9 minutes. We'll get Partygate out of the way. So for people outside maybe Europe, I'd say, because I'm pretty sure this is kind of well talked about in Europe, mightn't be further afield. Like we said last week, this was probably over. The reason why they're cracking down on your man Novak Djokovic was probably because of the scandal around Boris Johnson being kind of one rule for one, another rule for another. They're like, well, if we let him away with this, it's going to cause uproar for us. So we're just going to have to just double down on Djokovic and make an example out of him. Because like the blowback of what we're going to do is going to be far worse. And we're kind of seeing this unfold in England, where it's basically Partygate or Johnson Partygate or whatever you want to call it. There's always these like catchy headlines. You look like UK media love a good like headline.
Oh, they do.
They do love a good headline now. But every week there's like, or someday every day, there's another allegation. I think one like news channel was like, it's only Tuesday and we're at 15 allegations already of parties
by Boris.
Yeah, and it's like basically dubbed Partygate, and it's basically a scandal of during the height of the lockdowns in the UK, when people were being told to stay at home, don't make unnecessary journeys unless it's for essential goods or your frontline staff. Like even
don't take risks on treacherous roads.
Yeah, basically, your one was the spokesperson for the UK. What's her name?
Theresa Mannion.
Theresa Mannion basically came, the head representative of it. Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't get too close to people either. And there's like a whole. I think the first one was the cheese and wine gate, and I think it was basically the smugness of the people who are involved of it, because when it came out that there was a gathering in Downing Street, and I think Boris Johnson wasn't involved in this one, or wasn't at it, and but knew about it.
He was involved in them all. He fucking lives there.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily was there at the time, but there was a kind of there was a meeting.
It's not the one that he says he wasn't there, but the paper have published a photo of him there.
Could be like I was like, in terms of all there's a few that he wasn't there and he was known not to be there, and there's a few that he was. I was nearly certain that the cheese and wine gate one was just like one of the women that were being interviewed, or one of the people that were being interviewed, were like, well, it wasn't a party. Yes, there was cheese and wine and the people are having drinks, but it wasn't a party. And she kind of laughing it off as if it wasn't a big deal, but it was just like real smugly, like, well, it wasn't a party, ha 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 ha, under like basically laughing in people's face, like who are like, oh, it clearly was a party, but like obviously we can't say it because it was against the rules right now. But what are you going to do about it? And it was just that real smugness. People, most of us was like, it clearly was a party, but we don't really care because what are you going to do about it? And back then the police were like, we're not going to investigate it. And then more and more allegations come off. So now the police are like being forced to actually have to investigate. But even still, they're like, oh yeah, not all people will be fined. Some people might be fined, but we mightn't see. They're already kind of like just preparing people, going, oh well, isn't like everyone's going to get fined for this? We're going to investigate and we're going to see what the internal inquiry brings out. But and I think this is what is causing so much uproar over this.
It's just mental. Like any other head of state would have resigned.
Oh yeah, well even in the UK, most other politicians would have resigned. Like I think after that was a bring your own booze party in 10 Downing Street, and then I think was the ones where he claimed that he wasn't there, and then I think this was the one where it came out photos that he was there on the shirt.
There was actually a hilarious exchange in the House of Commons about the bring your own booze party.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if you know the guy. He's the leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name. He so somebody defected after this all came out that Boris actually was there. Somebody like defected from the Conservatives over to the Labour Party, but they done it like so everybody sat down in the House of Commons and they got up and they walked across the floor and they joined the other party.
Yeah.
But they all start booing. So he got up and he said, "Oh, I see Boris has arranged another bring your own booze party."
Yeah, and then after that, then there was a Christmas quiz party where Boris was the host of the quiz.
Well, he could have done that on Zoom now, in fairness.
Yeah, in fairness, like he could have done that on Zoom. And then I think the latest one is of his birthday party, where I think at first he went to a school and the school kind of kids were made sing him happy birthday while he's awkwardly stood there and gone, "Yes, thank you very much, children." Oh, very good. Yes, yes. And then they had a cake for him, so he had to have a cake with them. Then we went back to his office. There was another cake for him, where staff that worked in the building brought him and sang him happy birthday and had cake. And then there was his wife came over and had another cake. So he had lots of cake on his birthday. He loves cake. And I think there was 30 people at this event. So he's like, oh, well, yes, there was 30 people. And yes, there was cake and balloons. But there wasn't a party.
Isn't there one of them where he's like, I was there, I knew it was happening, but I didn't know it was a party.
Yeah, exactly. That's the excuse is there coming. He just seems dumb. Where is he going? Oh yes, it was a party. Oh yes, there was a gathering of people. It depends what your definition of a party. Some might call it a party. Some might call it a gathering. But yeah. So now there's the UK. Every time he leaves 10 Downing Street, there's some journalist going, "Are you going to resign, Prime Minister?" That was. I really should stop accents.
What was that?
They always have a Cockney accent. I don't know if that is a Cockney accent, to be honest with you. But they always have a real English accent, being an English journalist. I mean, "Are you going to resign, Prime Minister?" And they're just shouting over the street, knowing that they're not going to get they're not going to get fucking a response off them. They're just shouting abuse at them. We are journalists.
But at the same time, I don't know why people are surprised by this, because Boris Johnson's entire political career has been just controversial.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We shouldn't really be surprised by by anything like this. Remember when I think it was around the Rugby World Cup was on? I think it wasn't in Japan. I think it might be the one in France. Or maybe was there one in the UK? And there's he was the London mayor at the time, and he was playing rugby with a kid, and some kid fucking went to kind of tackle him, and he was straight handed him into the face, pushed him off and absolutely creams the kid on the ground and like gets it to the truck. Like, you're like, what the fuck are you?
Good man, Boris.
And there's another one, he's coming down a zip line, he gets caught halfway through. It's just him swindling, and he's like, have UK flags. I think it might be around the Olympic time or something like that.
Yeah, like he's always doing stupid stuff.
Well,
like
I think
even
go on.
last year he commissioned. It cost £1 million. He commissioned some fucking architects to see what's the crack with building a bridge between Northern Ireland and Scotland, and then they were like, yeah, so it's going to cost like 52 billion, and he's like, oh yeah, no, we won't be doing that. like
Well, at least you know he had a good estimate. It's like, get me a scale model, give me an estimate, and they're like, oh well, this is going to cost you.
Is there really a fucking demand for a bridge between?
There is actually. There's they've been talking about it up the north for a while now, creating a land bridge. They want like a partly paid. I think it's between like Scotland and Northern Ireland. It'll be kind of taking out the budgets of both of them, and they want the Irish government and the EU to also help fund it because it would improve trade between the two nations and all.
That's what I was going to say. Do you know what would have helped that along?
Not Brexit.
If they had stayed in the EU.
Well, I think there was talks for a while about it, but like, yeah, it's. I think it's something to do with the ground as well, like the kind of the depth of the water between Scotland.
Like literally, like it's. That's what your man said. He was like, it's going to cost like 52 billion or something, and Boris was like, yeah, nah, let's leave it.
Yeah, let's leave it. Yeah, because like it's. You remember like the tunnel between England and France? He probably imagined being like, oh, well, we did that. What's the difference? They're like, it's a lot deeper, and the ground's different.
That's what happened with it. Like first, your man came back and he was like, oh, the bridge is going to cost whatever this amount, and then Boris was like, how about a tunnel?
But like the thing about Boris is like his whole political career is playing the lovable goof. Like he purposely messes his hair up so he looks silly, and he has this kind of clumsy charm to him about him. Like I think a lot of people can maybe
you know what he
common
is?
People is the wrong word, but a lot of people can almost relate to him, even though he's a highly well educated man who was like went to the finest school and was quite posh, but he's kind of almost making himself more appealing and more like trying to approach the common person.
Do you know what Boris is?
Wow.
Boris is the British version of Bertie Ahern.
Yeah, there's definitely Bertie about him. There's definitely that kind of lovable and Bertie Ahern was in power for 10 years.
Yeah, and he was a shyster.
I like which for people in the US, be like, what, how long? I think it was what's the presidency of America? 4 years.
Yeah, 4 per term, so like 8.
Yeah, like you can keep going until people are fed up with you here. It's like, oh yeah, we'll keep him. But like the UK, they do have a kind of a warm a sentimental attachment to him. But I kind of feel like he kind of like, okay, there's going to be more people resign, but we still have such a strong majority in chambers. We'll still pass enough confidence, and this will something else will come up, and this will blow over. I think he will survive this. I don't think it will be
like he has this thing. There's a project going on now where there's people coming out, they're working down the street saying, "Oh, you know what? Boris had nothing to do with it. It was me." Like there's this thing that they're calling Operation Save Big Dog.
Yeah, well they know like I think he's the most palatable leader. I don't think because Conservative Party are people who generally come from upper middle class. They generally aren't appealing to anybody who grew up in any kind of council states or anything like that, where Labour would be strong. Where because of Brexit, had like lower educated areas had a higher kind of more pro Brexit support, and they kind of took the UKIP kind of support off them. But they also had Boris Johnson, who's kind of almost a relatable figure or a likable figure to people in these communities. And then, like, without him, you just have these fucking posh, kind of rich kids who like aren't appealing to them. And I think that's it. If you lose Boris, it's going to be very hard to take that kind of like keep that majority, unless the whole fear of Labour wanting to go straight back to Europe.
Like, I don't know. I just think he's like, I don't know how he's still there.
Oh, like I think like good luck getting rid of him. Like good luck. Like he'll go when he wants to go there. I don't think there's any mental scandals in the world that will get rid of Boris Johnson.
Like, it's just fucking. It's like a Yes Minister sketch or something like that. Like it's just fucking.
Oh yeah, like in terms of it being a reality thing, like it does. Like we're living in a time where like satire and reality seem blurred. Like you don't know whether this is a skit, and he's like, oh well, yes, there was party and balloons and cake and 30 odd people there, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a minister. Oh yes, we had a DJ. He was quite good. He played all the old classics, you know. But like it kind of seems like this seems like a kind of a skit at this stage.
Yeah, like it's just mad. Like
I also feel like it's a sign of like what a crazy 2 years that we had, that like a politician could lose their seat or their job over a party. Like we're arguing about people having cake in 10 Downing Street on someone's birthday, and we're like, oh, he should go for this. Like it just shows what a crazy time. I know it's like very justified, the anger that people feel who didn't get to see their family or who spent Christmas alone because of stuff like
even
this.
Like when fucking Philip died, like the Queen had to go to the service on her own.
Yeah.
And that same night, Boris Johnson's having a party.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I think that just shows it. But like obviously she was like very public. There's a lot of eyes on that funeral.
Yeah, but you know, like just like the double standard even there, like that she went to this funeral on her own.
Yeah,
Boris, like normally the Prime Minister would have attended. Boris sent his apologies that he could not attend because of COVID restrictions, but at the same time he's going, well, my birthday party kicks off in an hour.
He's like, well, I have to get this quiz started.
Yeah, like
DJ, hit the music. And he's imagining everyone silence, it's the Queen. And he's like, yes, madam, I am very sorry that it's great like remorse that I can't be attending this funeral, and my dearest sympathies with you. And then like the Queen hangs up. He's like, all right, DJ, hit the tunes.
Like I wonder, can she sack him?
No, she doesn't have, like she's a figurehead. She doesn't have really any power. She signs things into law. It's kind of like what we have in terms of that other house. It's she can, the Lords, there's a house called the Lords, and they look over certain laws and rules, and they can object to it, be brought to Parliament, but they can't stop it from coming in. And the Lords are like this upper middle class people. You have to be born into almost, I think, like a Lord's. And then it goes to the Queen, and the Queen signs off on it, but she's almost obliged to sign off on things. Only if she gets the legal counsel to say, like, this is unlawful to sign into law. Kind of like the President of Ireland. Like, he can't stop something go ahead, but he can kind of send it back before it gets kind of, if it's not, like, lawful. Or get kind of legal advice on it, kind of, if it's not lawful.
Apparently she can fire him.
Can she?
Yeah, I looked it up here. She can fire him if he has to, like, lose a motion of no confidence and refuse to resign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then she just says, good luck, bye-bye.
Yeah, but she can't fire him, like, if he doesn't lose it. Like, the Conservatives have such a overwhelming majority in the House, and then do you have likes of
Because like our president can like, you know, you can't tell him to resign, you can't fire him, but he can be like, you know, you need to like consider what you're doing here.
Yeah, well, once they have a majority, like even with the unionists up the north, the DUP, also like you'd have other parties there that might support the Conservatives in a vote of no confidence. So even if more and more people left, if it got to a situation where they don't have a majority in the House, then a vote of no confidence. But right now, if a vote of no confidence comes in, Conservatives will win by the sheer number of many Conservatives that are there, and that would vote for Barris to confidence in him. He'll survive it, so the Queen can't fire him if there's confidence in the House.
He's such a fucking chancer.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I don't think anything will happen to him. Like he knows, like, you know, this is just a storm. This is people. Some may fire, but like we're basically weeding out the unloyal from our party. We left with like yes men. That's all that will happen. Anybody is going to be now left in the Conservatives are probably going to be yes men. They just become more obedient. So if anything, he like just sees this as an opportunity to weed out the weak and get out the naysayers. And then sure, when local elections come along, the Conservatives are going to run candidates against the people that left in their local constituency and have good chance of possibly even winning.
Yeah, it's going to be like the UK is just a big fuck up.
Yeah, like it is fucking is for us Irish. We're just sitting here like with popcorn going, yes, this is awesome.
Like it is quite funny.
Yeah, it's quite like entertaining. Anyway, we hope we were entertained. We're way over our time, so we're gonna let the whole the girlfriend's video thing go till next week, I think. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week, we hope.
And if you didn't enjoy the show, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. We'll be back next week with the same shite, same time. Not the same time, but yeah.
Same channel.
Yeah, we hope.
Unless we get cancelled.
Yeah. Please don't cancel us, internet. Algorithms. Those mysterious, powerful algorithms sent to create fights amongst teenagers.
Yeah, teenage fight causing algorithm.
No.